Bandidos, was geht ab? Welcome to Mel's Magic, Episode 3 of Season 2. Heute ist Mittwoch, der 5. Januar, 5th of January, and saludos from the headquarters in Javier, Costa Blanca. As usual, Owls and I say hello. Hi, Nako. Guys, I've been going over a few things the past few days, and as you know, this journey is not linear, and we often think we're done with something from the past, but I guess the universe or life has a way of presenting the same situation to you over and over, to perhaps for yourself to check if you've really learned that lesson, if you've really grown or outgrown something outdated. I want to go back to my own experience over the past month, I guess, and especially in relation to this new moon in Capricorn that took place on the 2nd of January. I looked it up a bit, and it's so interesting because it was exactly, it makes me realize that yes, the influence of these cosmic energies of the moon and of the planets on our lives is real. It's not just hocus pocus, no? So, gosh, I lost my page again. But the new moon in Gemini had to do a lot with, not Gemini, Capricorn, had to do a lot with encouraging us to think out of the box and to question our habitual way of perceiving reality, as well as what we're told to blindly believe. Essentially, the new moon in Capricorn is inviting us to build new systems and establish a new relationship with order, discipline, and structure, with our inner authority and with the outer ones. And in my experience, these situations I've gone through over the past weeks really made me question or realize that perhaps my way of relating to outer authority was no longer healthy. And as I pulled out, was it episode 1 of season 2? I pulled out the reflection card, no? I realized that this outer situation was but a reflection of my outdated shadow behavior. It was essentially a way of not speaking my truth, i.e. betraying myself, in order to get someone's approval. And if you think about it, this is actually not only inauthentic behavior, but manipulative behavior. Because if you alter yourself or change your behavior to so to speak, control the image someone has of you, that's manipulation, no? And I had to ask myself, why? Why, Melanie, are you still doing this? Why do you still need someone's approval or someone's validation? And I had to come up with a lot of compassion first, no? I had to allow this shadow side to appear or to come into my awareness without judging it immediately, no? So it's not about judgment, but it's about trying to understand where some behavior comes from. And I realized that trying to please someone, even though it meant abandoning myself or going beyond what felt right for me, was a behavior I had adopted when I was a kid in order to get the approval of, I guess, my parents, and it was a kind of ingrained behavior. It was my parents, then it was school, then it was a mentor. I was always looking at lovers, always looking for this validation of someone else telling me, bravo, you're okay, Melanie, you're nice, you're on the right path, you're doing well, don't worry, looking for an anchor outside of me, which basically also means outsourcing my own power and abandoning my own power. But I had to come up with a lot of compassion and understand that, well, perhaps this kind of behavior was something that served a purpose when I was little, and perhaps it really had to do with physical, emotional, and psychological survival, and that's okay. But nowadays, it no longer serves me, and I am distorting my own truth, not only my truth, but I'm lying to the other person. I'm not showing them my authentic me, because I'm afraid that they would judge me if I say no, if I set a boundary, or if I disagree with their opinion, or if I do something that doesn't please them. So there's a fear of rejection and isolation that's at the core of this shadow behavior. And it took me some days to really understand it and forgive myself also. It came down to this card of truth. I had to ask myself, is it really worth this old behavior? Does it still serve me? And in what ways does it serve me? I'm not being true to myself. And to be honest, the only or one of the main thing that really matters to me nowadays is to be myself, regardless of someone else's validation or approval. And I say that, and it sounds easy, but it means letting go. It means letting go of a behavior that was with me for so long. And every time we let go of something, it's a kind of death of a part of us. And even though it's good for us to let go of that behavior, it's still a form of loss. And it's all right to mourn that. But I guess your self-love and your desire for authenticity ought to outshine this lower self behavior. And it might be a circular or kind of spiral process. It's not linear. It's not like you take that step and you're done with that behavior and you've learned the lesson. It will come up again and again. But every time you're given an opportunity to stand in your truth and to practice new behavior. I mean, we can trace this back to like neuroscience, where these old neural pathways, they're so engraved. It's so easy to fall back into the old pattern. But if you consciously decide a new path, like you have to want to change for your own good, not anymore for anyone's approval or for some kind of external judge or reference. It's really for your own good. And that might mean that there's only you who knows or who understands it. I think I'm also at the point where I'm done trying to justify things or my feelings to others if I realize that there is just a gap, or it basically comes down to it's okay to disagree, agree to disagree, and that's okay. It does not mean it takes away from my value or that of the other person. It might cost a friendship, it might cost a relationship. But I guess my lesson is that, and I've said this in season 1, risk vulnerability and reap authenticity, that probably there's more harm, or the only harm is done in not being authentic, in not saying your truth. That actually by having the courage to be vulnerable and stating your needs, stating sharing your feelings, that most probably the other person will understand, and that your voicing of your truth will be met with kindness. Maybe not understanding, but at least kindness and respect. And that's something worth risking. And if the other person is not there to at least hold space for your truth, then why hold on to that relationship? No? So as we evolve, the relationships around us either evolve with us or they fall away. And we have to accept that. I have to accept that. It's okay. What matters most is to take off these false masks. I'm so tired of pretending, of pleasing, of abandoning myself, of betraying myself for someone else's approval. I can't do this any longer. It might hurt to take off this mask you've been wearing for so long, but the authentic you that lies underneath is worth it. I am worth the risk of being me. It's okay to be me, I tell myself. These are old cards, but the cards I pulled today are the Page of Wands again and the High Priestess. I'm going to turn them around because this is mirror reversed. So I'll pull them like this. And it was interesting. I already pulled the Page of Wands a few days ago, and I like this energy of curiosity, of, standing on a new horizon with this youthful spirit, with this curious spirit to see what lies ahead. And I guess the Page of Wands in the context of the two cards that came before is, it might be this authentic me that stands there with the wand of hard-earned self-worth, and I can see the little sprouts of inspiration growing on the wand. And maybe I'm not 100% sure where I'm going, but I'm confident that I have the tools I need to guide me forward, that I have all the skills I need to live my soul purpose, that the universe is on my side. And I have my intuition, my inner guide, the High Priestess. The High Priestess embodies our intuitive side, is the energy of our intuitive side. And the more I trust my feelings and trust that when something feels off, it means that it is off. It means that it's not for me. It means that I'm not either thinking, living, speaking my truth, that something does not resonate with me, hence the negative emotion. If I trust that, then I have the inner guidance I need to show the next step forward. And it looks like she's watching. The High Priestess is this mysterious, beautiful, wild tiger with an oracle ball, perhaps holding the vision for the future, but is shrouded in lunar energy, which is this mysterious energy, the dark side. And she's watching over this youthful, new energy of the Page of Wands. And he's probably thinking, well, maybe he still has some questions. Am I going to be all right? Am I going to be all right? And she's there to say, yes, just trust me. Trust your inner voice. Trust your inner guidance system. Trust your feelings. Trust your intuition. Trust your higher self. As long as you're connected, you shall be guided. As long as you have faith, you shall be guided. So go ahead and take your wand of confidence and self-worth and step into this new horizon and open this new chapter. You're going to be okay. That's the story I wanted to pull from these two cards today. And again, I'm just basing this on my own experience. And I like to pull the cards because images speak so much louder than words, and the subconscious and the universe, universe works in numbers, but I'm a visual artist. So for me, imagery, symbolism is so powerful, and we need new symbols. And I love to relate to these very archaic, primal energies and symbols, and they really do guide me. It's like there's a real relationship going on there. And we all need stories, We are the authors of our own stories. And I'm writing, I'm rewriting, I'm co-writing my story every day afresh, I want to leave behind outdated patterns, old ways of thinking, lower self-behavior, because I love myself. And I want to unfold and grow into my full potential as much as possible in this lifetime, while at the same time remaining humble and knowing that I can only know the next step ahead, and that's fine. I don't need to know the entire journey, and that I am protected, and that I can rely on my inner guidance. And that's all. What else do you need, Here and now, if you have that kind of connection and trust in yourself, it's worth $1 million, $1 million. The rest will follow. So with this, Bandidos, it was a bit more of an introspective episode. I'm speaking from the heart, and I want to remind myself that I don't want this whole male's magic to be a performance, I'm done performing. My goal is to speak from my authentic self and to voice my truth in my own way. And if it resonates with you, you know, it makes me happy. But yeah, the goal is to be me and share myself authentically. Voila. And if you do like my stories and my messages, I'd be very grateful if you like, share, and subscribe. This is an ongoing journey of exploration, and you know, often the deeply personal becomes universal. So perhaps something does resonate with my experiences and my thoughts. And if so, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you as well. Vale? Okay, es ist Mittwoch, ein bisschen windig draußen. It's a bit windy, but I love the light and the atmosphere. And on this, I wish you a beautiful middle of the week. I'll see you probably tomorrow for episode 4. Bis dann, until then, saludos y abrazos, que les vaya bien. Und alles Liebe von mir. I look like a bird today. And aus. Vale? Ciao.